Hello my friends, welcome back to my channel. Alright, so today I have my April book haul, and I felt like I was doing a really good job of not buying books, but I actually bought a good number of books. But the books I bought were books that I just really wanted to own and collect. I feel like I am doing a little bit better about being more intentional about the books that I buy. Usually they are books that are either from favorite authors or that are just really beautiful editions, and I'm not ashamed to say that. So let's go ahead and get into it. This video may be kind of short or long depending on how long I talk, but here are the books that I hauled in April. So one of the books that I wanted to own that I have already read, but I don't own the physical copy of, is Queen Move by Kennedy Ryan. I'm trying to collect all of Kennedy Ryan's physical books because she is my favorite author. I love her so much, and I read this book in November. I really enjoyed it. I love the cover. I think it is just so freaking beautiful. Like, I love how she's holding his hand. It's just so great. So I had to get this one. And then to complete my Kennedy Ryan collection, I bought all 3 of the Hoops series books in paperback. So I think this is such a beautiful collection. So we have Long Shot, Block Shot, which I am halfway through right now as I'm recording this, so I haven't finished this one yet. I DNF'd it previously, but I am reading all of Kennedy Ryan's books to do a guide to her, so I've decided I would go back and read this one. This is the second book in the Hoop series, and then Hookshot, my beloved Keenan. So those are the Kennedy Ryan books that I bought. Now I own all of her books, except for her first 4. Anyway, I'm very super happy to have these. And then I bought Daughter of the Forest. I bought this to read for the Smart Women Read Romance podcast that Jessin and Juliet do. I didn't read it in time to listen to the podcast, but I do plan to read it soon. And I feel like this edition is just so stunning. Like, I love what is going on in the swan. I think it's so gorgeous. I love how big and floppy it is. I don't know, I just wanted it. I think I'm gonna love this book. It's like a historical fantasy, and I think there is a very subtle romance in here, but I'm just really excited. I love fantasy books, and I just felt like I wanted to have it in my collection. Okay, and then I have my book of the month that I got, which was People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. I have not read this book yet, but I am excited to. I really enjoyed Beach Read, although I do agree that it is definitely a bit more women's fiction than romance, but I really liked it. Alright, now we have some Elizabeth Hoyt books that I've collected that I did not have, and one of those is The Leopard Prince. This is in her Prince series. I have read The Raven Prince. I haven't read this book yet. I have wanted to just collect all of her books because I love her so dearly, and I am excited. This, I believe, is the second book in the trilogy, and they're very fun covers. They don't have step backs, but just fun to have. And then I also got another Elizabeth Hoyt book. This is the second book in her newest series, which is the Grey Court series. I have read this one, loved it, 5 stars. This is When a Rogue Meets His Match. And then Tala, who is a YouTube subscriber and a friend on Instagram, found this edition, which she knew I was looking for, and I was ecstatic when she asked if she could send it to me. I was like, yes, please. So thank you so much, Tala, for this edition. It is truly a unicorn, and I am so excited to have it. Thank you so much for sending it to me. Alright, and then I bought The Takeover and The Stopover by T.L. Swan. I have not read these yet. I have started The Takeover. I do plan to read these soon, and they were both on sale on Amazon. I think they were only like $9 each, so I snapped these up because I think they're very beautiful books. They're kind of a unique height, and I just think they're pretty. I don't know, I just wanted them. Okay, and then this book was on my Kindle Unlimited TBR, and then I went and bought a physical copy because my husband sent me the cover of this. He texted it to me and he said, hey, look, it's you. And I thought that was so cute and so sweet, and so I needed to have a physical copy. All I know about this is that it's fantasy romance, and I think it's beautiful, so I'm excited about this one. I am sentimental about this. This is never being unhauled, so. And then I bought me a copy of Act Your Age, Eve Brown, which I just recently read and absolutely freaking loved. This is one of my favorite books of the year so far. I loved it so much, and I listened to the audiobook, but I wanted a physical copy, so I went and got one. And then I already owned this, but it is my Book of the Month edition, and I wanted I wanted them to match, so I got this one, and I am going to be unhauling my Book of the Month edition because I prefer this one. Alright, and then we have my recent obsession, and that is the Dark Court Rising series by Beck McMasters. I just recently read the first one. It's a fantasy romance. It has fae, and there is this very piney hero in here for the heroine, and it is beautiful, and I love this book so much. This is my favorite fantasy romance I have read this year. I absolutely adored it, and I think the cover is stunning, so I bought a physical copy of this. And then I am currently reading this, Crown of Darkness. I may have finished it by the time this video goes up. This is the sequel, and I am loving this as well. So I love this author. These are the first books of hers I have read. I am completely in love with her writing, and I am excited to have a new fantasy romance author to be excited about. Alright, and then this edition was just barely published. This is the mass market new cover edition of the Kiss Quotient by Helen Hoang. I think it is one of the most beautiful covers I have ever seen. This couple is so beautiful. I just love and adore it, and I needed to own it, so I bought a physical copy of this. And then my sweet friend Jen from the Book Refuge sent me 2 books that were on my wish list. She sent me this absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous book, Love and War, which I am going to be reading very soon. I just love this cover so freaking much. It's stunning. And Jen said this book is amazing, so I'm very excited to read it. And then she also sent me a physical copy of Devil's Bride, which I have been wanting to read forever and just haven't gotten to it yet, so she sent it to me so I can hurry and get on that train. So I'm going to definitely try my hardest to read this in May as well. And then I have a few more fantasy romance books. One of them is The Crown of Gilded Bones. I pre-ordered this, so now I have my physical copy and haven't read this yet, but I do hope to get to this in May. I think it's a really beautiful edition. These covers are just stunning, and I'm very excited to see what happens in this story. And then I enjoyed this book so much that I decided to buy a physical copy. This is Fortune Favors the Cruel by Kel Carpenter. This is an adult fantasy romance, but there is very little romance in the first book. It's mostly set up for future books. You can see that it is laying the stage for the romance to be there, so there's very little romance in this one, but I really loved the fantasy world. I really loved the heroine, who is basically, I would call her the female version of a morality chain, where she has great potential for evil and darkness, but the hero is really the one who kind of keeps her in check. So I thought that was really interesting. I enjoyed this a lot, and I definitely plan to continue on with the series, and I think the cover is really beautiful. And then I just have a few more books. This book haul video is not going to be very long, which I guess is good because that means I didn't buy as many books as I usually do. But I pre-ordered Rule of Wolves by Leigh Bardugo and got this, and I am currently reading this right now, and I really, really love it. I am a huge fan of Leigh Bardugo. She's an auto-buy author for me, and she probably always will be. I love her adult book as well as her young adult books. I think she's just fantastic. She is an excellent storyteller, so I'm loving this book so far. And then I also have my Mystic box that I got for the month, which Mystic box is a dark romance box. So the books were Carter Reed by Tejan and Cole by Tejan. So I have not read these, but when I vlogged the unboxing of this, I had several of you wonderful subscribers say that you really enjoyed them, so I'm very much looking forward to reading these. They sound pretty amazing, so very excited about that. All right. Those are the books that I hauled in April. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one.